NATO is facing tough decisions, as even worse horrors may be around corner. Hopes were pinned on a breakthrough at peace talks in Istanbul. A week later, a grave atmosphere hangs over a NATO summit in Brussels. In the time, images of dead civilians in towns around Kyiv have shocked the world. It has complicated those efforts at peace talks. And it's complicated things for NATO. What is an appropriate response to such atrocities? We do not expect the alliance to budge on their red line, that no NATO boot will set foot on Ukrainian soil nor any NATO pilot fly into its airspace. A war between NATO and Russia is something no one wants to see here in Brussels. Instead, NATO's foreign ministers are trying to thrash out what next. What more military hardware and weapons to offer Ukraine to help it defend itself? The lens through which these talks take place is how any military aid would be interpreted by Vladimir Putin. As talks opened for a second day, Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba had this message: "My agenda is very simple. It has 3 things on it. Weapons, weapons, weapons. Put aside your hesitations, your reluctance, and give Ukraine everything it needs." Quote, and there is no time to waste. NATO's assessment is Russian forces are regrouping and reorganizing ahead of a major attack on the eastern region of Donbass. As Ukrainian officials frantically try to evacuate civilians from the area, NATO needs to give the country what it needs for this next phase of the war. Before going into today's meeting, Mr. Kuleba said the world shouldn't need another Bucha in order for tougher sanctions and more support. The fear here is what may unfold next in the Donbass could be worse than the horrors Ukraine has endured so far.